Thank you. Well, we got to get one thing out of the way first. Because I'm extremely vain, I've been going through my accomplishments, patting myself on the back, and I get down to NWCA Academic All-American First Team 2003. And I want to thank the Harvard Varsity Club for not explaining that there were 2 pass-fail classes in that. A class called Dinosaurs and Constructing the Samurai, where we basically just did sword tricks the entire time. So that's actually what I'm most proud of. And I think my family would be most proud of as well. So thank you so much. No, and seriously, thank you to the Harvard Varsity Club for this distinct honor, including me among my peers and these phenomenal athletes and human beings. Thank you, Coach Weiss, for giving me every opportunity to win at Harvard. Thank you to Bill Cleary for shepherding my admissions application in the early days, and Bob Scalise for taking over the goal line. Thanks to Andy McNerney, who's here tonight, who is the greatest mentor in my life and maybe of all time, and my friends who have come near and far to celebrate me tonight over at those 3 tables. Thank you so much. And my siblings, Jamie, Debbie, Corey, for always having my back. My brother-in-law, Joel, who's class of '98. Whoop, whoop. And my 2 nephews, Blake and Skylar, who are here tonight as well. Most importantly, my mom, who's given me my intensity and passion and great genetics. She's very strong. And my dad, for which the Harvard Wrestling Hardest Worker Award is named. A man that defied work ethic, loyalty, and toughness. We call him Tough Cop. He was a police officer, and he is the toughest man on earth in history of this planet. So, a special man. As a public school kid from a modest background, Harvard seemed like a fantasy. It wasn't really something that was in our family's reality. I grew up in a family of 5. We were surrounded by love, passion, and tons of opportunity, but not a ton of educational emphasis other than you had to get good grades to stay eligible for sports and to just compete. On any given week, we had 15 to 20 more kids in the household because my mom was a daycare provider. So we learned lessons, in real time of teamwork and empathy and, compassion and all these things. And we took that into the community. My family gave me everything. My parents gave me everything from day 1 till 37 years later. We all have limitations. And I don't know if it's limitations or they just found a way to outsource their limitations. And what they did for me was to introduce me to a man who's here tonight named Andy McNerney, who stood up as a Hall of Famer as well. He was one of the few people to ever go to Harvard from my high school, one of the greatest Harvard wrestlers of all time. I think he still holds a record for the oldest man to win the Midlands competition in wrestling, which is the toughest college tournament of all time, and has been an incredible mentor to me. Where my family and my parents fell short, which really wasn't them falling short, but introducing me to Andy and helping me, was kind of the broader picture. At 16 years old, your life is pretty myopic. For me, it was lifting weights, getting good biceps and chest for the beach, working out incessantly for wrestling, hanging out with friends, and trying to chase girls. And Andy said, well, Jesse, there's a bigger world out there that you can actually accomplish things and give back to the community and not being so self-absorbed. I was like, well, then, like what? And he was like, well, I went to Harvard and I grew up a block away from you. You might have a shot. I said, so for him, wrestling was a vehicle for me to have a greater opportunity. And Harvard does an amazing job with that. I think we all know that Harvard's been under scrutiny recently for their admission bias, but I think they got it right with a jock from Long Island. That was a decent wrestler. So I appreciate that. Andy, that I didn't realize at the time, and looking back, had this amazing ability to motivate but not push, to critique but still be positive. No one really came up to me and be like, hey, Jesse, how was your math test? Or how was your chemistry test? It was more about like, did you get your workout in? Did you, let's talk about that wrestling tournament. Let's talk about soccer or baseball. But Andy came in and would make it fun. He would say, oh, let's go cross-train and play tennis. And what are you reading right now? What are you focused on to kind of improve your life outside the realm of sports and wrestling? Kind of what Harvard preaches, which is being well-rounded and contributing to a community and giving back. So, Andy, you know, I could thank so many people up here. My late father, who is, you know, for sure the most important male figure in my life and such an amazing man. But tonight, it's really about Andy McNerney being the greatest mentor I've ever known, and not only changing my life, but changing my whole family's life. The Jantzens didn't have a legacy of education and college degrees. I don't know if anyone on my mom's side had a college degree, despite them being the hardest working people I've ever met, working 7 jobs. It just wasn't part of the tradition, and my dad had very few. Andy gave me this opportunity with a few others, and now we have 2 Harvard graduates in my immediate family, a Princeton graduate, safety school. Sorry, Deb. It's the worst. And I hope that someday my kids will come here as well. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.